How long does the teacher explain a difficult concept? How much coffee does the cup hold? Why is the computer not working? When did you visit the museum? What do you like to draw? How many mice does the cat catch? How do the stars shine at night? How many hours a day do you spend reading books? How much time does the teacher spend grading the tests? When does the baby need a diaper change? How many cups of coffee can the cup hold? What time does the bell ring for lunch? What does the restaurant serve? Does your sister love dancing? How does the clock tick? Are you coming to the party? How often does the teacher write on the board? How busy is the coffee shop? How does the sandwich taste? What time does the baby sleep? What music does the song sound like? How smoothly does the car run? How often does the baby giggle and laugh heartily? What color does she always wear? How early does the coffee shop close? How does the movie end? What does she write in her free time? What day is the exam on? Why do you need to buy groceries? How does the cake smell? How tall does the sunflower grow in the garden? When does the baby need to take a nap? How often does the dog bark at strangers? When does the horse neigh? When is the math test? How often does the dog wag its tail happily? When does the bus come? How far do you swim in the ocean? What do the clouds look like? How often does the horse trot gracefully? What do we need to finish the project? How often does the dog follow its owner? How does the laptop screen display the image? How fast does the train chug along the tracks? How high does the cat jump? How often does the teacher conduct a science experiment? What subject does the teacher give homework for? Can you please pass the salt? How often do they go to the gym? How long does it take for the coffee cup to cool down? When does the sun shine the brightest? Where do they live? When does the phone ring? How tall does the sunflower grow? When does the meeting start? When does the sun rise? How often does the baby babble and imitate sounds? How many toys does the baby have? How often does the baby laugh and clap hands? How long does the baby sleep? What book does he read every night? How often does the teacher praise the students' efforts? How big are the sand castles the children build? Where is the laundry in the basket? What are the flowers doing? What time does the movie end? How often does the dog play fetch with the ball? Can he play the guitar? How long do you ride your bike to work? How much does the baby weigh? How often does the baby reach out for a hug? How tall does the sunflower stand in the garden? When are your parents coming home? How do you walk to school? How often does the baby babble and giggle? What does he work as? How often does the coffee cup get used? How often does the dog follow its owner's commands? How often does the teacher assign a group project? How does the garden look? Why is the dog barking at strangers? How do the birds build nests? How many customers does the coffee shop serve daily? Does he always arrive on time? How long does the baby coo and giggle? How long does the dog pant after running? What instrument do you play? How often does the teacher correct the papers? How fast does the horse gallop? How often does the teacher organize a class field trip? How often does the baby gurgle and babble? How often does the coffee cup need to be refilled? What glasses does she wear for reading? Is John a good swimmer? How loud does the dog bark? How much water does the sunflower need to grow? What are the birds chirping? Are they studying English? Do they enjoy playing soccer? When does the train depart? Why does the baby laugh happily? When does the train arrive? How often do the kids play hide and seek? How often does the baby coo? Do we live in a big house? How loudly does the car brake screech? How much coffee does the coffee cup hold? Will it rain a lot in this city? What does the coffee smell like? Do you like ice cream? How often does the dog fetch the ball? How often does the dog jump with joy? How high does the airplane fly? What time does the clock strike? How often does the dog wag its tail in excitement? How salty does the soup taste? Where is the book on the table? How long does she bake cookies for? How many languages does she speak fluently? How often does the baby giggle and smile? How many minutes of sunlight does the sunflower need? How fast does the river flow? What are the kids playing outside? How much sunlight does the sunflower need? How often does the dog bark at the mailman? When does the clock chime noon? Does she work in an office? How does she sing? Is the car parked outside? How is the weather today? How long does the teacher correct the papers? How high does the sunflower grow? What time does the movie start? What kind of bread does the bakery sell? How many commands does the dog obey? How many petals does the sunflower have? When does the moon appear? How often does the horse graze in the pasture? Does the sun set in the west? How slow does the traffic move? What sound do the leaves make in the wind? How many cups of coffee does the coffee cup hold? Where do the children play? How do the guitar strings sound? How many words does the baby say? How do you enjoy your reading? How often does the dog sniff around the park? How does the water feel? How often does the baby crawl and explore its surroundings? When do you need to clean your room? Why do you like watching movies? How does the river flow? How does the coffee taste? How often does the coffee cup need to be washed?